Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Monday morning rant for Monday, the 15th of November, 2021. It's been a super heavy week. Not for myself personally, I'm good. But I've been in contact with a whole bunch of friends that have just come out of the woodwork. And they've all come out of the woodwork at exactly the same time. People that I haven't seen in years, just reconnecting, and yeah, everyone, we all go through hard times and dark times, and um, yeah, it's been a bit of a weird week for me. Like I've said before, but I'm not the best listener, but I've tried to be the best listener I could be. Uh, this past week, I talk a lot, I talk so much. So it's really hard for me to just shut up sometimes. But but yeah, I thought about this. When I got up this morning, I thought about talking about some of the stuff that I've been listening to, and some of the problems that my friends are going through. But not everyone likes to share shit like I do. I mean, I use social media to my advantage in that it lets me get shit out. I'm very public about where my head's at, but one thing that I've realized about hanging out and catching up with these friends of mine in this past week, I didn't know any of them were going through this shit. Some people just deal with it on their own. They don't want to bother people, or yeah, it's just really fascinating. So I thought about it this morning, and I'm it's almost like I can't even talk about some of these problems because it's just so personal, and they're so personal, and I don't want to mention any names. I don't even really want to go into any of the specific details, but one of them is going through this situation where she's anti-vax. She doesn't want to get the vaccine, and she doesn't want her kids to get the vaccine either, and she just can't believe what Australia has come to with basically forcing everyone to get the vaccine. Otherwise, you can't go out, you can't catch up with friends, you can't go out and eat, you can't go to a movie, you can't. Some people can't work unless they get the vaccine, and she just can't believe it's come to that. Her government and her Australia and her life. It's a tough one, It made me realize that I was fairly quick to get the vaccine, motivated by fear, which, fear is a fucking good motivator, right? So motivated by fear and paranoia, I thought I'd do it so that, rather than fearing what's going in my body, it's more about being able to catch up with people and not worry about getting COVID so much. It's primarily why I got it done. But yeah, the old me that I used to be when I used to hang out with this girl, we were warriors, man. We would never succumb to getting the jab, and just made me realize that she hasn't changed, but I have. So yeah, that was heavy, and I also caught up with a friend's son who he's a teenager now, and sent me a message and just wanted to chat, and I knew something was up. I haven't heard from him in years, and damn, like his whole family has exploded, and He's had to live out on the street for a bit and just go through life alone. And as a teenager, that's just fucking hardcore shit. And yeah, like I said, I had no idea. Like I had no idea this kid was going through this shit. So we had a really good catch up. I think he's in an okay place right now, but man, he's been through some wars in the past couple of years that I hadn't seen him. I've also reconnected with a client who I used to work with maybe a couple of years ago now, and she was overseas and was just crossing the road. The light was green. She was crossing the road and she got run over by a cop car. He got dragged along and was in a coma. And I remember at that time, a whole lot of her friends set up a GoFundMe page and I donated some money. And she just reached out to me last week to say thanks. And it's taken her 2 years to get to where she is now, where she's had to learn how to speak again. She's had to learn how to walk again. She's had to learn how to see again. They said that she wouldn't be able to be. They said that she wouldn't be able to see. She wouldn't be able to walk, or maybe even talk. And yeah, she's so positive, and I had no idea she was that bad, and I ended up finding her personal Instagram and checking out her journey in the last couple of years to getting her clawing back at life and getting her life back. And it's just so inspirational, and it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. And she'd like to catch up sometime, and man, I would love to catch up. I would love to catch up with her. I'd love to do a podcast with her. I mean, that would just be absolutely amazing if she'd be up for that. It just would be the best thing ever. Such an amazing woman. And caught up with another mate who I used to hang out with. I've known him ever since my design days in the 2000s, and man, he's gone through the wars. He was in a really dark place a couple of years ago, probably around about the same time that I was in a really bad place. And he lives and works in the US, but turns out he's been back home for 2 years. I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was here. I didn't even know he was back here. And he's had a kid, which I didn't even know either. And he's going through a divorce. And we were trying to organize a catch up last week, but we ended up catching up over phones instead. And hopefully I'll catch up with him in real life this week. But yeah, so heavy. Like, just been hearing him out and what's happened and all the legal stuff he's going through and with his ex. And one of my mum's closest friends has been diagnosed with cancer. And it's just been a fucking heavy week. Like I said, I'm fine. Like it's just so weird for all of these people to come out of the woodwork in literally this last week. And it's put me in a really weird state of mind. And I didn't game at all the last week. I got my thumb out of my bum and I've just been editing photos every day. And I've just been chipping away at this pile of work that I've had sitting there for some time. So I don't know exactly where my headspace is at. One good thing was one good little release that was there for me was that I had an interview, my second part of an interview with Matthew Schneeman, who is he's a journalist from New York City who contacted me a year ago to. I think he found me through the videos that I was making about going through bipolar, antidepressant, and getting off medication and all that kind of stuff. And we did an interview a year ago, and he has a project called A Year From Now, where he interviews people that are fucked up and then schedules to re-interview them a year later to see where they're at. And so we did that last week, a couple of days ago, and it was interesting because I think I just needed to talk. I needed to get some stuff, not so much get it off my chest, but I felt like I was carrying a lot of weight, so I just needed to just hit the release valve a bit. And I think I don't really remember what I was saying with him over the hour or so that we were doing this interview, but I think I let loose, and he did say that he felt like I was still the same. I talk a lot, and I'm almost manic in how I skip around from subject to subject. But I felt like I needed it, so I really thanked him for that, actually, just to talk to someone who wasn't gonna, someone who just let me talk, I suppose. And he was a bit like a mirror for me. He thought that I was in a pretty good place in comparison to where I was last year. And he sent me the audio file too. So, he's working on his project A Year From Now, but he's more than happy for me to share the raw audio file. I'm not even sure I want to share it because I think I might have mentioned names. I might have mentioned people, these situations that that some of my friends are in. Maybe I have to edit some shit out. I don't know. But it was really therapeutic for me. I kind of needed that after such a heavy week. So yeah, sorry to skirt around and tippy-toe around some of this stuff, because usually I would love to talk about. There's so much to talk about here. There's so much heavy shit, but so much that I feel is worthy to talk about. But I don't think it's my place to talk about other people's problems. I'm just glad that people can talk to me about it, So yeah, that's that. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to work on this audio file that Matthew sent me of the second part of the Year From Now interview. I'll work on that this week, and I'll get that up during the week. And I hope everybody has a better week than my friends that are going through shit. But yeah, it's just a reminder that everyone's going through shit, hey? At some point in your life, you just got to go through it. And if you're going through it, all the best. Please talk to someone. That's where it's at. It freaks me out that a couple of these people figured all that shit out and got through it by themselves. I don't know if I could. But yeah, I shall catch you guys in the next one. See yous.